Why the rich rarely share money with friends. I've been on both sides of this. I come from humble origins, but attended prep school surrounded by children of billionaires and later found success in business. My roommate in college came from literally having Renoirs and Picassos in the living room type of money. In fact, when I googled him a few years back, I discovered that there's actually a private hedge fund whose sole source of money is his father's. He is personally not in the spotlight, but you can read about his father and brother in NYC publications. I grew up middle class and my roommate could have used $100 bills for toilet paper. Yet if we ordered a pizza, we'd split it 50-50ths. If I didn't have pizza money, he would quietly order something else for himself. This was never awkward, nor did it have a miserly vibe to it. While we knew there was a bit of an income gap between our families, it literally never came up, and he pretty much lived as a somewhat comfortable kid. Nothing about him was flashing cash. Everything about him screamed, my dad is a pediatrician type of comfortable, but not owning priceless artwork type of wealth. For example, his car was just a run-of-the-mill SUV any upper middle class could reasonably afford. While there was no double he came from wealth, as driving a somewhat expensive new car is usually a sign of wealth when owned by a teenager. Nothing about it screamed billionaire. Many teenagers who aren't even millionaire, let alone billionaires, drive something nicer. For some background, I went to the college that U.S. News ranked as having the wealthiest student body in the country, and his SUV was right in the meaty part of the bell curve for student-owned vehicles. Him coming from money was normal, and was never the awkward thing it would be at some other schools. Now, we were never all that close, but if he were to have ever subsidized me in college, it would have forever changed the dynamic. I would have a little more weed money without having to buy my own pizza, but I'd forever be in debt to him. In fact, I'd probably get a no with him when I wanted pizza but he wasn't hungry. He wouldn't even notice the difference if he paid for everything or not, but he'd never view me the same if he did, and in essence he'd lose something more than money. He'd stop viewing me as someone to have a beer with or talk about girls with. I'd just be that empty vessel that wants pizza with him. The last thing he wants is to be surrounded by people who view him as a walking ATM. Remember, I only knew of the amount of wealth because inevitably someone visited him at his house over break and had mentioned it once while drinking. Had a friend not visited his house and seen the art collection, I'd literally never have known he was anything more than a run-of-the-mill upper class while we were classmates.